Have you ever worked a job with a whole bunch of people who you don't normally work with? For instance, I started a job a couple years ago where I work with a lot of old people, elderly people, super mature people, people who are about my grandmother's age. And we're talking about like 55 and up right now, okay? I'm 38, so as you see, I'm not too far behind, but they're obviously much older than myself. So today's story time, I'm going to talk about how I started working for a place where I was getting hated on by some old bitches, just old, who hated on me for no reason, just because I was new, I was younger, and I was full of life. And they really tried to like shit on me multiple times. How does that work? How does that happen? Is there anything that you can do about it? I mean, you can't really murder people because it's messy and illegal. So, a couple years back, one of my family members came to me and they wanted me to work this job bartending. And because they liked me as a bartender, like my energy. And she said, look, Niecy, that's how she talks. Look, niece. She always has like this really calming voice when she talks to you. But like when she talks to you, um, you know she ain't taking no shit. Like, you know, I strive to grow up to be like my aunt. She ain't taking no stuff. So she comes to me and she's like, niece, um, need you to come and work at this place for bartenders. The way that you handle yourself, you're so personable. I think that you'd be better than some of those people there because some of them are a little ornery, a little angry with life because shit happens. And I said, okay. I wasn't really doing anything. I wanted to make some extra money, and this place you allowed you to work at your leisure. So I'm like, all right, auntie, bet, And if if your family member holds a certain position of power in a company, why not work there? I don't abuse power, but it's good to know that if I needed to, I could. I start this business, I start this job, and I go in there, and I don't know if I'm about to say, and you know me, you might not know me, but this is what I am the majority of. I go, I'm happy, I feel good about my life, I feel good about my motherfucking self, I feel great about myself, right? So, that's just who I am as a person. That's just what I do. So when I go in there and start this job, the first thing I noticed is everyone is really old. And when I say old, at the time when I first started, the youngest person I met was 65 years old. That person was a youngling. That they were like, "Ooh, look at you, young lady." And I love it. Don't get me wrong, because I like to call a 65-year-old a young lady as well. I just didn't realize that there were so many older people who worked here. And so the job was so clutch. It was so easy that you had people who started here 30, 40, 50 years ago. I've never met anyone who's worked at a job for 50 years. That is crazy to me. But, I feel like I like it. I like it because I feel that society looks at you when you get older and, your body starts to break down and you don't have the same faculties as you did when you were younger. I feel that they just kick you to the curb when they're done using you, which is just crazy talk. So I like that this job allows older people to be able to do it because it's a pretty easy job. It's a pretty easy, simple job. It's cake. And the reason why people stay there for so many years is because it's freaking cake work. So I love that for them. So when I went in here to this job and I saw these older people and I got past the whole, culture shock of, oh, okay, they're older people, I started to engage with them. And I don't know what I was expecting. Well, one, I wasn't expecting to work with a whole bunch of elderly people, but I also did not expect anything. I think I could say I didn't expect to do or encounter anything when I started this place. I just expected to go in there, do my thing, get the fuck out. That's all that I imagined that I was going to do. So I went in there, and when I go in there, I'm raised that when you see people, when you walk into spaces, you speak. I don't know why people don't do that. I don't even understand why people don't want to do that. I'm not saying you have to have a full on fledged conversation, but like, speak, gosh damn, like speak, like just hi, hello. Acknowledge me. Acknowledge that I am in the space. Some of you guys are like, I don't have to acknowledge you. I mean, you don't, but you're a bitch. So I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I feel that, as people, we should try to welcome when new people are coming. Let's welcome them into our space. And I think when I went in there and I said hello to everyone, I was just assuming like, okay, well, they're older people. Older people have they're more mature. They have their stuff together. They're not like us younger people who still trying to figure it out. No, no, they are just as bad as regular people. And then what makes it horrible is like they're older. This is like the boomer generation that I'm working with. So the side notes, one thing about boomers that I do love is that boomers work hard. Like they are not about us pansy motherfuckers that's walking the earth today. They are hard workers. That is what they do. That is what they love to do. Hard workers, left and right. There's a guy, he's like 80 some odd years old. This dude face planted at work and then like still worked the rest of his shifts. He it wasn't funny. We'll talk about that. It was not funny that he fell, but like I'm 38. If I face plant, I'm going home. I am not staying my shift. So I do recognize that boomers, they are hard workers. They're hard workers, and they will work through any and everything. I love that. What I don't love about boomers is that they're still stuck in a lot of their old mindsets and how they treat and talk to people. Not all. I never say all. Please know that whenever you watch my videos, it's never an all. It's a some. So when I went and I greeted some of these people, these motherfuckers act like they couldn't speak. They act like they couldn't say anything. They act like they couldn't, engage with me or nothing. So from the first time, there was this one lady who was there. That's who we're going to talk about. We're going to call her Sadie because Sadie rhymes with shady, and that's what she is. Sadie was one of the first ladies that I met. And when I got behind there, I'm nice. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm trying to learn everything. And like, I am a person who I don't like to assume the worst in people. I allow you to show me who you are because everyone is different. Everyone acts differently. I don't think it's fair for you to see something and automatically be like, written you off. This is who you are. I know people do that as a way to protect themselves and to avoid, being hurt or whatever. And I get it. But I also believe that there's millions and billions of people in the world. Everyone has a little bit of difference. The horrible thing about bad people, they do the same thing as good people and vice versa. So it's really up to you to get to know people. But I feel like when I meet you, I want to say hello. How are you doing? Let's talk and do everything. And let's just have this discussion. So when we would talk to each other, however, she would just kind of, I couldn't put my finger on it because I think the best of people, I couldn't put my finger on it. But about 30 minutes into working with each other, I was like, oh, this bitch, she might be a bitch. She is a bitch. She is a bitch. She's the biggest bitch I've ever met today. Because I've met a lot of bitches, but she's a big one. So at this point of her being the biggest bitch that I've ever met, we're not there yet. I jumped ahead. She's not the biggest bitch that I've ever met just yet. So the whole time in the 30 minutes that we're working with each other, she's doing like these little microaggressions. So one, my name is Champagne. Okay. You might think that you will forget my name, but you can count on one hand how many champagnes by birth. This is my birth name. This is not my stripper name. My stripper name is Mary, okay? Champagne is my birth name, okay? So you're not going to forget my name. There was another black girl who worked there. Mind you, there was only two black young women who worked there. Me and her. Her name was Ebony. My name is Champagne. The only thing that we had in common were that we were short, we were black, and we were women. We looked different. We were built differently. You know, we sounded differently. We were not the same. We were not the same. So the whole entire night, she kept calling me Ebony. And then, like, it wasn't like, oh, sorry. It was just like, oh, Ebony. Oh, I'm sorry. Champagne. Oh, I don't know why I keep calling you Ebony. Oh, like, she just kept calling me Ebony. Now, at first, I thought that, okay, well, you know, I get it. This lady, she's probably in her late 50s, early 60s. I don't know. She looks way older because, you know, she's a bitch. But I first attributed to her doing that because she's older. You don't know me, and I get it. Like, I'm not the best at names. If your name was like, you know, Michelle, it might take me a minute to remember that. But again, my name is Champagne. It's not that hard to remember. You will remember my name is Champagne. That's what it is. But the other thing that made me realize that she was doing this on purpose was that there were other new people who had been hired on. They were all white. And she knew all their motherfucking names. All of them. She wasn't calling the wrong name. And the way she would call me this wrong name all night, it was like she wasn't doing it like by mistake. It really felt like she was doing it intentionally. I really feel like I could describe it to you. But what we call in black culture is we call it, you was trying to act funny. So, and what sealed the deal, because this had happened all night. If you can't remember someone's name, this is a lesson that you should learn. If you can't remember no one's name, you usually don't use their name. Ma'am, miss, sir, hey, hello, I'm so sorry. What is your name again? I have no problem asking someone their name 27 times because why not? And I'll give them a heads up like, hey, I am so sorry. I know I asked your name 27 times, but we're about to go to the 28th time. Like, it's just courtesy. So this is how I know that she was playing on something. She was just being funny. So as the night went on, and we were working together probably about 2 hours now. And every time she would say, call me Ebony, she was like, oh, I just can't understand why I just can't get your name. It just doesn't, jump out to me. Like this bitch said that, it just doesn't jump out to me. Okay, cap. I got fed up, and because then I know she was just doing it on purpose. She was just calling me Ebony on purpose. She didn't want to learn my name. She didn't want to learn my name to use my name. How fudged up is that, right? She was calling me Ebony on purpose. It started getting that way. So then I'm not like a spiteful person, but I'm also not a confrontational person unless I have to be, which I hate having to do. But she came to me one more time with this Ebony thing, and I was like, okay, Marianne. Oh, I'm sorry, Sadie. You just look like another person who looks like Marianne. After I said that, this bitch had my name correct for the rest of the night. You cannot tell me that she was doing that because she forgot. She knew what she was doing, and she does shit like that all the time. She does microaggressions. I don't know that I've ever really encountered microaggressions until I started working there. So her and then other older people, the way they would talk to me was like I was a fucking idiot. We have to stock beverages. So today's drink that I'm using to help me loosen up and tell you guys a story is Courvoisier Avant-Garde. It's a bourbon cask edition. Ooh, Kentucky bourbon barrels made in Kentucky. It is not sponsored by Courvoisier because they do not know me. It is just sponsored by my mouth because that's what I'm drinking tonight. So Courvoisier, it's the only way to play. Courvoisier, pay me. I made that slogan for you guys. Pay me. So at this point, people treat you like an idiot. So this one guy, we stock drinks, and we point the label to the front so that it's easier for people to see it. And I just want to put out there that I have my master's degree. I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but I have my master's degree. Okay, so I'm not super smart, but I'm a little smarter than a fifth grader, just to throw that out there. So so I'm straightening up the bottles, and this other guy, I can't remember his name, and I'm putting the bottle, so he starts coming behind me, and he starts stacking. And now, mind you, all my labels are out, so he starts stacking the bottles, boom, and he's like, "See, do you see how the labels are pointing out so that people can see the labels?" And I was like, what the fuck? This is not fucking rocket science. You're holding the label out. I said, are my labels not out? And he looked at me, and he looked at my labels, and he just walked away. Like, what? So at first, and I'm in this weird situation because it's like, respect your elders. That's how I was raised. Respect your elders. But I also know that with older people, I don't see myself actively cursing out an older person. That's just not in me. That's just not something I would do. I just, they're older. I believe in respect. I'm okay with respect. But you're not going to talk to me crazy, though. You're not going to talk to me crazy. So that's just what it is at the end of the day. So I'm meeting more of these people. And as I'm meeting more people, some people are the nicest people you've ever met. Miss Bonnie, oh my God, she is the sweetest thing ever. And she's the sweetest thing ever because all the old white men at the theater are always trying to shoot their shot at her. Like, girlfriend got it going on. She's married though, but she's short, she's petite. She's got this little voice that's so cute. And they love to hear that. And she plays on her femininity so hard. And all the guys, even the older patrons, they come up, they want to talk to her and giggle. And like, we don't have time for that. We're trying to get, 1,000 people through the bar in 20 minutes. I don't have time for you to shoot your shot, but hey girl, get it like you got to get it. Okay. So I'm meeting, nicer people, but I'm also meeting more like just really standoffish people who just are not nice. They're not nice people. They're not kind people at all. So, another person, we'll call her Blanche. We'll call her Bland. Bland. That's what if you ever guys watch, what's it called? Arrested Development. And there's a chick on there and she wasn't particularly, she didn't stand out. She didn't look, she never wore any makeup. She looked regular. Her name was Anne, but they called her Bland because she didn't really have any personality. They forgot that she was there half the time. She was just a regular, schmegular, degular type of chick. And they used to clown her all the time. But that's what we're going to call this other chick Bland. These are my two, like, I don't want to say words like nemesis, but if I ever needed to use the word nemesis, this would be the time until I get another nemesis, which I hope I never get. But so this Bland, I think, I don't know that she's worse than Sadie. I think Bland and Sadie, they're both on the same level of being bitches, but they just go about it differently. And that's what really counts when you're in that world of bitchiness. So Bland, she looks bland in the face. That's, I'm sorry, she just does. It just is what it is. So Bland, the first night, whenever I come and I went in there and I saw people, I always introduce myself. Hi, how you doing? My name is Champagne. And it's like, which I hate because, all right. I'll even give you leniency and say that you don't have to say hi to me. Like, even though as a person who's outgoing, who's social, that kind of bothers me, I do respect your right that you don't have to say hi to me. You don't have to just come out and say, you don't have to be the first one to initiate the hi. However, it's pretty rude. In my opinion. Okay. It's pretty rude in my opinion to if someone speaks to you and you blatantly ignore them, you make eye contact, you hear them, you see other people, your homies, your friends, your buddies, and you can key and say hi to them. And they have, and I'm loud. You guys, you see it, you hear it. I'm loud. They heard me. So anyway, the first time I met Bland, I'm at work and we have to count money at the end of the night. I'm counting money, doing my thing. So Bland comes up and she's like, I don't know whoever you are, but here's your tips, and just walked off. Whoever I am, how rude! Like somebody comes up to you like, I don't know whoever you are, but there's a door. Like, I know some of you guys are like, that's not a big deal, but I feel like that's pretty rude. I feel like that's pretty rude when you don't know someone to just come up to them and then just, throw something at them and just walk off and just say whoever you are. That's pretty rude. That the fact that you couldn't take 2 seconds to just say, hi, what's your name? You don't even have to say hi. I'm sorry. I don't know your name. What's your name? And these are old women who are acting this way. And that's what's blowing my mind. So for several months, right, I'm being cordial. I'm trying to talk to them. And now I'm getting upset because Sadie does shady shit. So she'll sit here smiling in your face all the time. She won't take your place. You backstabber. Backstabber. That is what she does. So she is, there's a new guy starting here. She's going around and talks to him about, and she's talking to him about you. All right. Because she has to go and whisper it. And it's only like 3 of you guys. And if it's something that is important and everybody can hear it, it should be said to everybody, but she don't. She just goes, as soon as you do something, she runs off and she whispers like this, like, hey, I don't think that she should be doing X, Y, and Z. So, but the great thing is, and she, she's always trying to get someone in trouble. She's always trying to talk to me. You hear it because she thinks she's quiet, but she's not. And you know what? I'll give it to you. She might be quiet. She might be quiet. I'm just that nosy. So I overheard her running, and they do things where they marry bottles. They take bottles and they marry the liquor together. I don't participate in that because it's illegal from prohibition. If you want to know why, check out my other channel, The Bubbly Bartender. But I don't marry liquor. What does marry liquor means? That means when you take 2 bottles of liquor of the same type and you pour it together. So let's say you only have a half a bottle of Henny and then you have another bottle of Henny, which is like 3/4 or maybe a quarter left. You will pour whichever bottle into the other bottle, and then you put the top on it and you keep serving it. That is illegal. If you're doing that, bar owners, you should not be doing that. And it's illegal. It stems from prohibition because back during that time, people were trying to get drunk. They wanted to get drunk so bad that they would go out their way to create all kinds of liquors. And they would go out their way to create really bad liquors that really made people go blind, made them go sterile, and in some cases cause death. So based from that time, they do not want you to marry alcohol. And you really shouldn't do it because dive bars will do that stuff where they'll take fake liquor or take a fake liquor or a brand that's not the correct brand and they'll pour it in a higher bottle. So they'll take like Jose Cuervo tequila and put it in a thing of Patron. And I mean, if you are a person who's really in tune with tasting, you may, taste that it's off. Apparently most people don't. So I don't do that because I think it's gross and it's illegal. They do that. So, Sadie got mad and she was telling someone she says that she doesn't marry liquor because, she's a mobile bartender and, she has her and she's insured and whatever that means. I think that's very clear. I'm a mobile bartender. I'm insured. Okay. So if something goes down, guess who can get sued? Because they're a bartender and their business is mobile bartending. This kid. So, all right. It's cool. So as time is going on, I keep encountering these microaggressions from Sadie and from Blanche. And now I'm getting to a point where I'm like, look, I am who I am. I like me. I like who I am. I think I'm a good person. I feel that I'm a good person. I do good person things. Like, why am I so concerned that these chicks are not trying to be cool with me? Why am I so mad that they're not speaking to me? So I started changing. Also a believer that if you can't change your circumstances, change your mindset. Okay. And it's not like I would want to quit from that place. That's a place I'm probably going to stay there for many years because you just work when you want to work. Or at least I'm going to stay there until the guy who's running stuff dies because he's been there for like 30 years. So I'm going to still stay there for a while until stuff, as long as things stay relaxed and laid back, I will stay there. So I'm not leaving. I already put that in my head. And then I only work a couple hours and I make bank. So I'm not doing that. So I started figuring out, like, well, what can I do to protect my heart? Because obviously that bothers me. I shouldn't let it bother me. I'm an adult. I'm grown. I should know better, but fuck that. So what I do is I stop, like, I come in there and I say hi to everybody and that's it. I stopped addressing everyone. I stopped sitting there asking them how they're doing it. I stopped trying to have petty conversations with them. And I stopped looking to have their validation, which when I say validation, I mean like, hey, did we do a good job tonight? Or, hey, what did you guys think about the setup? Or, is there anything I can do for a little bit better? Because I know that their criticism or any feedback that they're going to give me is not coming from a place of, hey, I'm trying to help you. It's coming from a place from, hey, I'm trying to harm you. I'm trying to hate on you, which is what they do. There have been times where I've sat there and when in the beginning, when I was trying to have conversations with people, I would talk to them and they would talk to everyone but me. When I'm a bartender, like I talk to people. It's important that you have a rapport. It's important that you're nice and you conversate with people because you try and get that tip money, bitch. You try and get that tip money. So when I got there and I started, opening up people's water bottles because at the theater, you do have a lot of older patrons who are there and they have arthritis, so they can't open the water bottles. So I started opening people's water bottles. So she came, she's like, but she never did that. So she would see me do that and people would be like, oh my gosh, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. I don't do it so much anymore because it's just, it started to opening those bottles. It just started to, add some calluses to my hands, but I still open them. I still open them. I do choose and go, but I was opening every single one of them. And she was just like, patrons don't like it when you open their water bottles up for them. Someone just cussed me out because I did that. Man, what? Like she would always tell me stuff to set me up for failure. She'd come to me, she'd say, we're supposed to say, do you want a single for 9 or do you want a double for 18? That's how we're supposed to say it. Okay, I'm not saying that. Like there's a fucking sign right here. It says a single is this, a double is this. Why am I assuming that they're idiots? Although some people are. I'm not going to say that the people are idiots. If they ask me a question, I'm going to tell them the price. They have a right to say no. I'm going to give them the price. And I've never had an issue with that. Every single thing that I would do, she would be so critical of it. Or she'd make a little smart type of remark of, I get my nails done. She'd be like, oh, I see you got your nails done. Sometimes you got to have a little fake nails sometimes to make yourself feel better. Bitch, the majority of my nails are real. The only ones that are fake is because they broke from bartending, which was just usually I only have 1 or 2 fake nails on, and that's only to help grow it out. Okay. But it's like, who has a compliment a backhanded compliment like that. You know, 'cause I guess you need to have fake nails so you can feel good. Who has backhanded compliments like that? Like, shut up. And let me tell you, she's no prize, okay? Her mouth. The one thing I always talk about is how her mouth is just all wrinkly around her mouth because she just says such bad and mean stuff about people. So time is going on and I'm just seeing more and more like she's just being nasty to people. When some of the new bartenders came in, I would greet the new bartenders. She would sit there and complain, why do we have these outside bartenders? Why do we have them? We don't even need them because they want to, she wants to have more of the tip because we do a tip pool. But also, she's not quick at bartending, okay? So we're trying to get 1,000 people through the line in 20 minutes. You're not quick, bitch. You need the help. Shut up. This one chick came and Sadie had told the chick got there first, and our rule is first come first serve. You just set up wherever you set up. So she goes, she sets up, she's all good down. So Sadie comes in. That's my spot. I'm supposed to be there. I don't know why you guys come in here and you think you can do whatever you want, but that's my spot. And she was a black chick, and she was mad. She was so mad. I was like, look, let's talk. Because when you see your people, you got to be like, girl. Like when you see your people, you got to talk to them and work. You got to give them like hey, look, I understand. Let's talk about this. So, and I thought that was so rude because bitch just works in from anywhere. But the people, the old people, these older people, they're so stuck in their ways that they feel like I'm just going to do what I want to do. I'm just going to say what I want to say. I don't have to worry about any of those things. So, okay. So at this point, Sadie is just getting out of control. Like she is just becoming a fucking menace to people. She's just really just being really catty. She's just... So one day we had to work together. And some people would say racism. I know people want to bring up racism. And because she's white and I'm black, could she have some racism? Maybe. But sometimes white people, if a white person is like a black person, or if a white person has an issue with a black person, sometimes it's not about race. Sometimes that person is just a bitch or a dick. That's it. Like I don't think it's anything racial per se. I just think she's just a bitch. So one day we had to work by ourselves, which I hated. I saw it. I was like, wait. Because usually there's a buffer. Usually there's other people who work there. And they don't like the way that I bartend because I bartend well, but like they're very particular about how they bartend. I don't believe that you can be rigid in bartending because your landscape is always going to change. You have to be able to roll with the punches and do things differently. You have to be able to pivot, and you have to be able to transform to whatever and ever surrounding that you are in. They can't do that because they don't bartend for real. They bartend for fake. All right. Was that catty? Yes, indeed. So we worked together this one day, and us working together, she kept trying to make small talk with me. And this has been at the point where I'm like, okay, I'm not talking to you guys anymore. I'm not talking to you guys anymore. I'm cool on y'all. I'm just going to be cool. I'm just going to come in. I'm going to talk to who talks to me. I'm going to do my work, and I'm going to get out. So we're at this place, and this is where I feel like, remember, I don't argue with older people, but I have no problem being firm with my words because no matter what, you cannot whoop my ass. Nah, I'm not going to get beat up by an old person. No. Nah. You can give me the work if you my age, but you can't be 70. I can't be 70 and get whooped by a 70-year-old. You know how bad that'll make me look amongst my peers? Unless you are a professional fighter, I just can't. Can you imagine getting your ass beat by a 70-year-old? good. I don't want that. So, but I have no problem being firm. So we're working together side by side, and she keeps trying to make small talk with me. And my problem is she don't talk to me when other people are around. If you're not talking to me when other people are around, don't talk to me when it's just you and me. I don't like that. That to me screams fake, because I feel like keep that energy. Again, I'm not being saucy, I'm not being negative, but I realize what it does to me. I'm not interested in just banter. I have a cell phone, you have a cell phone. Google works. We got Wi-Fi. Like, we don't have to talk to each other. We could talk to all these patrons and serve all these patrons, boo boo. We ain't gotta talk to each other ever. So, at this point, she makes comments like, oh, yeah, my hips are sore, and she makes like some type of little comment about my weight. She's just like, oh, me being so skinny, but I know that, you may not have that case because of just, how you're built. It's like, this bitch is wild. She's wild. She's wild. Like, I've never said anything to her about her looks. Nothing. I've never said that, like, ma'am, you look like the female version of the Crypt Keeper. Like, I've never said anything to her like that. Okay? I've been very nice. I've been very kind. Very nice. So she says something else, and I'm just being brief, and I'm just giving her brief responses because everything she's saying is backhanded. Like, none of it is really like, I'm trying to have a conversation with you. It's just like she's trying to be nasty nice. I don't know if you guys have ever met anyone. People who are nasty nice, it's like a frenemy. Okay? Except frenemies are at least your friends. She's just nasty, and a chick who's just nasty nice. So finally, she hits me with, I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. And I said, Sadie, we don't ever have to talk, baby. I don't need a conversation with you. You could just, do your thing. I could just do my thing, and we could just work. I really don't need the conversation. Shut that bitch up hard. She was shocked. She was shocked. Like, why? Why would you? I don't think she expected me to say, because I'm a nice person. Like, I don't like conflict. I don't like negative stuff. I'm trying to get this out because this has been on my heart, because I've been feeling like feeling some type of way. You work around that a lot, and it sits on you. So I was like, I got to tell a story. I got to get this out. So I thought, after that point, it was just like, now there's respect. So now when she sees me, she says hi. When I greet people, she's like, hi. Sometimes she does, sometimes she don't. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. But now she tries to like have a little conversation, but she'll talk to everybody around, and she always has to talk. Like, it's like, bitch, just be quiet for a little bit. I'm a talker, and I don't always just have to talk. Although I do like the sound of my voice, I don't always have to talk. Just talk. Bland came to me the other night, and Bland still don't talk to me. She don't greet me and everything. One time she tried to have a conversation with me, and I'll talk. But I don't feel like I should give you access to my good, positive energy because you don't appreciate it. But I'm not going to be a bitch about it. Like, I'll answer your questions. I'll keep it cute, but you're not, this right here, this is reserved for y'all, my new friends out here. All right. This ain't reserved for them. So Bland, she marries bottles. Let me tell you what she did. So this bitch is the other night. So Bland comes over with a little small bottle of liquor, and she has this in her hand. She's like, hey, I got this bottle of liquor for you guys to marry. So it's me and this other chick. The other chick, her name is, we'll call her KK. KK she's cool with Sadie and Bland. So but she's not exactly, she's at least, I don't know how to explain her person. Like, she's not rude when she'll say hi. She speaks to you, she say hi. When she comes over, she'll even say hi. But she's more just, I kind of feel like she's probably a follower. Like, it's weird to see adults as the kids who are followers, and they become adults, they're followers, and you don't realize what they are until now that I think about it. She's more of a follower. So when she sees them, then she becomes a mean girl. But if she's not around them, she's cool. But I don't have an issue with her. But I don't talk to her either, because She was in the same boat as them. Like when I was coming the first few months, I would say hi. She wasn't trying to say hi. She wasn't trying to talk. She wasn't trying to really like engage with me. So I don't really engage with her, but she speaks to me and I speak to her. So we keep it cute. That's all it is. So she comes over. Bland takes a bottle. She sits the bottle down. I got this for y'all to marry. And I was like, oh, I don't do that. I don't marry bottles. And she just looks at me and walks off and leaves the bottle there. Now, I know I might be blowing it out of proportion, but it's unacceptable, bitch. Like, I just told you I don't do that shit. You should have took your bottle with you. You didn't. You just sat it there. Like, why? Why? So, so today we worked together, and she worked down there in another bar, and I worked down here at this bar. And she comes in. Now, I did tell him this. I told him this because, that's something that they do. I do not condone it. I don't like it. I'm not for it. But I'm also not a snitch. What can I say? I'm not a snitch. I'm not a snitch. So I told them, I was like, look, if that's what y'all want to do, if that's what you feel like you need to do, I've expressed to you guys that I haven't really expressed to them by and large. I've told certain people, and it's up to them if they want to retain it or not. But if they ask me, I'll gladly explain it to them. But they don't ask. They never ask. They will sit in a room and ask every single other person a question. How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? And they won't ask me nothing. So today, she Bland, I see her walking out of my room, out of my my bar quickly. I was like, hi, what are you doing? And she was like, oh, I was marrying bottles. Like I was gonna fall out and be like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't care what you do. You don't do this for real. I do. So I'm not doing that. I don't think you should do that either. But if your management likes it, hey, go off, fam. But look, I don't do that. So she left out, and I was like, oh, okay, do what you want to do. And I guess she thought it was going to be some big grandstand, and I was going to sit there and give like a 10-minute speech like, my fellow Americans, I don't understand why you don't listen to me when I say I don't marry shit, but I truly mean that with my whole entire life. Like I guess that's what she is expecting to happen, but no, I really don't care. Honestly, you guys, as you see, my show is called Get Rich or Cry Trying. I'm worried about getting rich. So I work these jobs not to be the morality police, not to police you guys. I work these jobs to get my money. I get in, I do my shit, I get the fuck out. And that's it. So now with these two ladies, they're still there. I'm not going nowhere. They're not going anywhere. But one of the things that I do appreciate is that I don't have to work with them that often. So I don't know if they've communicated to management that they don't like working with me. And I hope that they did, because I do not care to work with them. And when they see you working, and you can see the envy in their eyes, because every time I do stuff and they see people who like coming to my bar, they sit there and try to nitpick something that's dumb or create some dumb rule like, oh, well, we're not supposed to put a whole bunch of ice in a cup like that. Bitch, it's ice. Why are you, get out my face? Right? Like, what are we doing right now? What are we doing right now? What are we doing right now? We're bothering me. That's what we're doing. So at this point, I just do my job. And after all of that, my lesson to you guys is you're going to meet some people who don't fuck with you in the long, short, medium, thin, fat way. They don't like you, and you have done nothing to them. Don't break yourself trying to figure out how to get them to understand who you are. Don't do it, because you're just going to make your job even worse. As long as they're not someone who has a lot of power over what you do, you're going to meet people in life that you don't like. You're going to meet people in the world that you do not like to work with. That's okay. My thing is, keep it cute, keep it cordial, okay? Hi, bye. That's it. You do not. One of the things I think about when, because there's all types of people who I don't care to work with. One of the things I think about is, I think, does this person pay my bills? Would I hang out with this person outside of here? And the answer both times is no and no. If you're not someone who I love, if you ain't paying a bill, if you're not living the kind of life that I want to live, I'm not listening to you. I'm not taking advice from you. I'm not giving you the energy. I'm not giving you the time of day. Okay? So that's my journey. Thank you for hanging on. I know that was a long story of nothing, but leave it in the comments. Have you ever had a situation where people just didn't fuck with you off rip? What did you do to make that situation better for yourself? Also, if you like what you saw today, please don't hesitate to drop a like, drop a comment, and please, please, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so that anytime that I am on and I release a video, you will see it. Thanks again, you guys. Have a great day. Be safe, be sound, be loved. Bye.
Like black, 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 Louis 13, and you think on me, well, you discover shots. Comes in, your wife's in the backseat of my foreign something car. Don't act like you forgot. I took a shot. Like black, 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 pay me what you wanted. Don't act like you forgot. Mitch better have my money.